How's it going? Bit of a strange day today. It's all wet, misty and gunky kind of. I'm up a mountain. Well, not really up a mountain, more up a hill. Decided to go for a walk today to get out. It's a bit of a strange day for me today. Not feeling 100%, not feeling my usual get up and go, even though I'm up doing this. That's why I kind of came up here today. Something I've been kind of meaning to talk about, a little topic that I haven't really talked about before, and it's something that's kind of very common, and I don't think it's really discussed, to be quite honest, is seasonal depression. Now, like, you could say it's depression or it's just environmental. You can also say that it's just people aren't feeling 100% in themselves, but it is a real thing. It's a real thing because I know, because I have it. I've had it since I was a very young man. How the weather affects you like this, well, this isn't really affecting me, it's kind of refreshing. You don't know, it's dark all the time and it's gloomy and you don't get much days of light and sun, and if you do, it's kind of very minimal. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things, it's a strange thing to try and describe. You kind of wake up and you're kind of all mentally muddy, that's the best way to kind of describe it. You're not really yourself. You're very, as I said, demotivated. Your normal interests aren't your interests anymore, and you kind of get snappy and irritable, and kind of everything's a chore. Even that, as I said, you're kind of, another thing, part of your speech kind of goes a bit odd because your head's all kind of sluggish. It's not running 100%. You can't really think straight, and it's kind of something I've never really spoke about. I don't really tell anybody about it. You kind of just get on with it and stuff like that, but you days like today where you just get like, oh, I know it's not really nice things, but you go, fuck it. But I wasn't feeling great this morning. I was very sluggish, and I kind of was up late last night. That's another thing, but you kind of tend to stay up late and stay in bed then during the day and stuff like that, which is not good for you. But I was watching a game. I was watching a Bruins game last night, but still I should have went to bed early, and you just get kind of muddy in yourself, but you get this kind of, oh fuck it kind of mentality, which is not good, which is not healthy. And it's particularly kind of common here in Ireland and kind of even the Nordic countries, because it gets dark relatively early. Like even there now today it's pretty dark, a dreary kind of day, but I love it. I love days like this, strange enough, as I was saying, that are kind of like, okay, you kind of get out and it's showing off, you can see kind of, the window's going to pick up here, so you kind of see what the way it is. It's all, yeah. No, you wouldn't think that someone that suffers with seasonal stuff. I have it anyway, but I have it kind of all year round, but in particular this time of year it's pretty tough going. But you wouldn't think you'd see someone like me up here doing something like this, for considering what is going on in my head. And it's kind of weird that you don't actually know what's going on in your head. It's kind of, you want to do stuff but you don't. It's really strange, and you're not miserable. People think that depression is this thing where you're miserable, you don't want to see people, you don't want to talk to people. It's not that at all. You're just not yourself. I'm probably one of the most active people I know. I love being out and I love doing things, but at the same time you get days where you just don't want to. You don't want to do anything. No, I'm hiding behind a rock, a very big rock here, to try and block the wind, to try and have a chat with everybody. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things where you're not yourself. You're kind of negative a lot of the time, and it's kind of strange. I just see a guy now coming up the hill with his bike. He's doing mountain biking, but he looks like he's struggling. I just walked it. It's tough walking. I don't mind bringing a bike with you, but you'll have fun on the journey down anyway, because he'll mountain bike it the whole way down. He's a young man anyway, he's grand. He's tough out. It kind of shows you kind of the younger generations, they kind of have it all sorted up, they know what they're doing. Where we didn't really have that growing up. They were kind of taught all about these things, about how getting out and look after yourself and stuff like that. I was lucky, I was taught a lot of stuff kind of outdoors. So I kind of, it's more like a ritual more than anything now. When most people go to mass, I go to the wilderness. And yeah, it's just one of those things where it comes and goes, this kind of seasonal depression thing. You're not going to have it all the time, you're not going to have it every year. But when you do have it, it's kind of, you can't really measure it, you can't tell when it's going to happen or what you can do with it. A lot of people go, oh, take tablets, take medication, and it'll treat it and all that. That doesn't necessarily work all the time, and it's not really an effective route, I don't think, myself. I think get outside and do things. Find your passions, find what pushes you. I'm kind of a bit unfit at the moment. I haven't trained in a very, very long time. I don't think that's really helping either. So yeah, just a quick note for you guys. Hope you're doing well. And if anybody has any questions about it, just reach out to me, have a chat. We see how it is. Yeah, take it easy, guys, and just remember, kind of get out there and don't be too hard on yourself. It's raining now, and I love it. So this is what I'm doing for my health, my mental health, literally. So alright, guys, talk soon. So yeah, I just did that video there. This is, I'm probably going to attach this to the end of that video, because it's actually after getting this weird cam all of a sudden up here, which is kind of worth doing a video for. I'm literally trying not to talk, because it's just eerily quiet in a good way. It's kind of weird, since I did that video, it's all kind of quieting down up here. The rain stopped, the wind has dropped dramatically, and it's got this quiet, which is really, really cool. I'm telling you, Dill Dads, the universe says, my girlfriend tells me the universe is listening. Well, it's definitely listening now anyway, which is kind of inspiring, it's kind of uplifting, and yeah, I don't think, if I didn't come up for this walk today, I wouldn't have experienced this. So it's the weird things that happen in the world. Yeah, jeez lads, this is kind of cool. I'm going to enjoy this now, but if anybody's wondering where I am, I'm up in the Kerry Camino. It's the kind of hills there, just as you go towards Dingle. You can kind of see them on the road. It's a nice handy walk. For anybody that's any bit unfit or anything like that, it's not that difficult, to be quite honest with you. There's the actual walk itself, which is basically a path, but I didn't do that. I went the kind of scenic route. I kind of climbed up the, well, not climbed, Jesus, but I walked up the hillside, which is kind of a bit tough to navigate. It's basically a bog, but that's good. But yeah, this weird calm has just happened, which is amazing. And I said, lads, get out in the world, get out and experience wildlife, and just kind of being around things. And look, I got all sorts of stuff around the back of my head. So yeah, it's kind of weird. If you're wondering, I just heard someone screaming out with joy, strange enough. I'd say that that young man that was out cycling, he got to the end and he was probably celebrating. But yeah, all is well, all is good. And yeah, the seasonal thing, lads, I don't know. I know I'm probably talking a bit too much on it, but it's a topic that you could talk about for weeks on end. Weeks and weeks and weeks on end, and it's very, very strange. You get the, as I said, no, it's kind of very, I suppose, symbolic and kind of weird that like the clouds have lifted. That's kind of a good way to kind of describe it. But I think muddy is more than anything, because you're not sad, you're not angry, you're not upset. It's very, very strange, but it is something that does affect a huge amount of people. But no one, I don't know why, nobody really talks about it. Nobody really kind of says anything to anybody, but I've never seen anything on social media, I've never seen anything on TV or radios or anything. It's always kind of the depression, the extreme end usually, but like it's kind of something that's very, very common. I spoke to a lot of friends about it, and they have it, and they always feel like this time of year they kind of get a bit, not themselves, but I don't think they get it to the level that I do. I get directly affected by it, impacted by it. But like, it took a long time for me to realise that. It took a lot of years to realise that. And I find that, oh, the wind is back, that it's something that if you don't know anything about it, or if you haven't experienced it, it can be very confusing and very difficult. But yeah, it's even there now, even trying to gather my thoughts, is kind of one of those things. Is like, what the hell is going on? I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. yeah, it's muddy, mucky. You're kind of not really into yourself. You're kind of outside of yourself a little bit. You're feels like you're here, but you're not. Like even that, you get moments where you zone out and you completely lose track of what you're doing. Like even there, I know most people do this driving, but like during get that moment where you're completely like, oh, I've gone into autopilot. That's kind of what it's like. You're here, but you're not. You're very unmotivated. Even watching TV series and stuff like that, you're like something that you'd have a massive interest in. You're just like, oh, I couldn't be arsed. And social media doesn't exactly help it either, I don't think. I think this kind of projection that's out there of the world, that this polished image of life is kind of really affecting people. I think more so since COVID, because people had nothing to do and people are readjusting back to society and life, and it's really difficult. But back to what we were talking about, something positive is to get out. I know myself that I even getting out here now, I got absolutely saturated, but I don't care. It makes you feel better, makes you feel good, and it is important. And I hope everybody's feeling good, and I hope everybody's doing well. But you do get days where you don't. You do get days where your head is just feels like you're just. It's like a puzzle that doesn't fit together. That's kind of the best way to put it. You know the picture, but you can't put it together. So yeah, hope this helps anyway. I might do some discussion on it a bit further. I've had a few people on to me about doing longer videos, kind of more long discussions. So I'm looking into doing that. So if anybody really kind of wants to talk to me about stuff or kind of get into conversations more than anything, let me know. Reach out. I said I'm mad for interactions. I love talking to people. So, alright guys, talk soon.